Good evening. Welcome to the Sharmark Show. I am your host, Sharmark, and you know at the Sharmark Show, we always bring you something interesting. Today is interesting. I think you need to call somebody, tell somebody. We have a very interesting guest as always. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Tell us your name.
I'm McNeil Griffith from this beautiful island.
Oh, I like that. Say that again.
I'm McNeil Griffith
Oh,
from
I like.
this beautiful island.
I love your surname. It sounds so powerful. It sounds like it has money behind it.
Oh boy.
Yes. McNeil, tell us. I've been seeing you on Facebook for the last couple of months as a motivational speaker, and you sometimes hit some very strong topics. And then sometimes I just figure, okay, this guy didn't have anything to do, and then he was just expressing himself and stuff like that. And one day I was just clicking on Facebook and I saw he was talking about a book. I was like, wow, I said, but somebody can write a book, you know? And that's why I reached out, because I just wanted to, I didn't want to judge on the sideline or just window shop on the sideline. I wanted to know, how did you come up with the book? And then from solution to solution, I find it was very interesting to see you going from that. And I know you as a flight attendant and then to be now writing. And I think as somebody that's writing, I think is very passionate, because it's almost like you put in your thoughts to inspire people on paper.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you know you wanted to write? How long have you been writing? How long have you been keeping that from solutions?
That's a very nice way to put it. Let me tell you, it's for a very long time. Well, I've always been naturally expressive, very talkative. I've always been an enthusiast of life, very adventurous. I love to motivate people. When I find something, I want to share it. So, the fast forward to that is when I was young, I wanted to be a pilot so I could travel the world. And I also wanted to be a motivational speaker. And as I started to get older, I decided, why not become a flight attendant? Life just brought me to that point where that was the choice in front of me. Like, it fascinated me, like, go travel the world, meet people, interact, engage, and get to educate yourself even more. Something I didn't add is that I've always been again, I'm big on self-discovery and self-realization. So all of these things combined led me there to the flight attendant venture. Then I became a shopping consultant. So I traveled the world being a shopping consultant as well.
So just now, before we go into the shopping, and the Sharmark Show, we like to dive in people's business. How long were you a flight attendant?
I was a flight attendant in total. I would say 13 years. I was a flight attendant.
Wow.
Because I worked with 3 different airlines.
What airlines were those?
So I was with Liat doing the Caribbean first, and I had my map then. I said, you know what, I'm going to travel the Caribbean, and I'm going to go from that, and I want to just go international. So I went in, but then I ended up becoming the shopping consultant first. An opportunity met me. That's what life does. When you put yourself out, it comes back with something great. And then after I worked as a shopping consultant, I decided to fly again. So I went in Qatar Airways. I moved down to the Middle East.
Wow.
And then from there, I moved down to Abu Dhabi, where I became a flight attendant with Etihad Airways. I ended up living in Dubai as well.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. But there's
That's
a lot
of exposure.
A lot of exposure. I just gave you the compact version of it.
So from a flight attendant, you went into a shopping consultant. So when you mean shopping consultant, meaning fashion, meaning what kind of shopping consultant?
It was actually, port shopping guide, to be more specific. So I did that on cruise ship capacity. So when I was in the cruise ships, I had to promote jewelry, diamonds, brands and stuff like that. And it was more like a marketing role, but definitely. I had to talk a lot.
Definitely.
And then direct guests to go to different places to shop and stuff like that.
Wow. And so you were one of the people, they hire people to max the credit card in the cruise ship.
Yes, I maxed the credit card to make my... I like that. Bluntly said.
Oh, nice. Yes. So I want to get into the writing. I'm excited. How did you get the vision for writing, and how did you choose the topics?
Life has a way. I don't know. Like I said, I've always been a student of, growth and self-realization, self-discovery. I always believe you have to discover yourself in different, there's different layers to unravel as you go through. The writing thing, since I like to talk so much and I had so many stories to give and so much exposure already, about how many years ago? It was 2010. My mother said, McNeil, you want to write a book? And I said to my mom, Mommy, a book? Come on. She let me know. I see you writing a book, putting everything you've learned on into paper and stuff. And I said to her, one of these days, and it stayed in my mind.
Nice.
2011, I bought a laptop, a MacBook. And when I bought that MacBook, I said, okay, I'm going to start writing. So I started drafting things, but then I just kept sleeping on it. And then the desire got stronger. The more I traveled, the more and then I started doing coaching sessions, by the way. So I did a transition, something I didn't share. I started coaching on the side whilst I was a flight attendant.
I
People were
mean,
starting to pay me money to
coaching
coach them.
too.
Yeah, personal coaching on,
Okay.
like motivational speaking, but doing it more on a one-on-one level. And some
Okay.
people used to get me to come do it in group settings whilst I was in Dubai.
Okay.
Can you
nice.
imagine that?
Yes.
So from that, it's so many things were happening behind the scenes along the way to build me into, to contribute to what I'm doing now.
I like that.
And that's something I realized. Life, when you step out, life starts to present you.
Definitely.
So then you look back in retrospect, you say, wait, how did that happen? So all this, I'm giving you the nutshell aspect of it, but there's a lot more behind the scenes that was going on. And then to fast forward, I was a flight attendant until 2021. And that's when I said, okay, I need to leave, transition from flying and go all the way into my personal coaching and stuff like that.
Nice.
Let me get into that full time. But guess what? So anyway, I did that. I came back to St. Lucia, and then I got an opportunity to go back to cruise ships to be a shopping consultant again. So it came, and I'm like, and they're like, come on, you're the best guy for the job. I took it. And then 2023, I said, that's it. Enough is enough. I need to go into my, motivational speaking, and I need to write my books. I need to devote myself to that. I'm getting younger, and I'm getting younger. You need to, do what you
now
said
is the
do.
time.
Now is the time.
But I think now is the time because I think would you like to share the titles of your book with us?
So the titles of the book, well, that's a story right there. Abundance is yours, and the sacred greed.
I'll receive the abundance.
The abundance, it's yours for sure.
I'll receive it. All of
yours.
It. Yes. So how did you come up with I think it's a very strong title.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with that title? Why that title?
Wow. I love these questions, but this is what happened. When I decided to commit myself all the way to just, sharing what I have, to express it in speaking and writing, last year I decided to fly to Grenada. So I booked an Airbnb in the hills, in the countryside.
I think I saw clips of that. Yes.
Yes. And I said, write the book, at least write one book. I was scared. And when I say scared, I was like, what will I do? I don't know how to write a book. I have all these notes. What do I do? Anyway, I said to myself, you'll find your way. There's a way the divine guides us, and we find our way. And I said to myself, the same way you found all those doors open for you over all these years, you must find a way to put these books into. Anyways, I went to Grenada and I wrote 7 books. Don't ask me how.
Wow.
I just started to write, and then the ideas were coming to me. I sat down, and then the promise I made to my mom and to myself, I said, I'm going to write a book, but I talk a lot, but my book's going to be compact, concise, to the point. They're going to go straight to your heart.
Yes.
And they're going to speak to the person in there.
Definitely.
To bring fire to the soul.
Yes.
That was the intention.
I think, but that's what it is. I think it's almost like when you're reading a book, the book's supposed to bring you to life, to visualize yourself in terms of what you're reading. But we're going to go into commercial, and we'll be right back. Just stick that pin right there. Welcome back. I'm your host, Sharmark, and I'm here with my guest, McNeil. McNeil, I must say, I'm loving the first title of your book. I think I'm going to take all the abundance for myself.
Sure.
So my viewers at home must be interested, more than myself, in terms of more details about the book. Mm-hmm. So give it to us.
So, you asked me earlier on about the titles.
Yes.
So I wrote the 7 books in Grenada, and when I got back here in St. Lucia 4 months later, I wrote 6 more. So that's 13 compact books, right? Guess what? In February, I'm having a live on Instagram, and then boom, I made a declaration about something. I just open up my big mouth and I say something. Long story short, the next day I say I must come up tonight and give them a new thing about abundance. We'll be talking about money and wealth and attracting what you want.
Yes.
But in a real way, not the woo-hoo way they show, how to manifest in 24 hours. Yeah. Anyway, so I decided to write the title, Abundance is Yours. And I wrote a document, which I was supposed to read on that live. Fast forward, I said, let me hold that until Saturday. Whatever came up in the way, I didn't release it on that night. So Saturday, I read it to my dad. And my father said, McNeil, seriously? Then I decided to add more notes to it, and I spent the whole day writing. I wrote a booklet. That booklet became the book, Abundance is Yours.
Oh, wow.
I sent it to a client of mine in the Cayman Islands and to another client of mine in Miami. When they read it, they were like, what? You call that a booklet? And then 4 more people, I sent it to them. So that was 6. And they were like, what is this? That's what triggered me. And I'm like, you need to release this.
So who did your editing for you?
I did all my editing for myself. I said, I want my thing to be me to the core. I want nobody to touch it. I'm very, I don't like to follow convention.
No, there is an axe. I know most times every time you look at a book, they have an editor and stuff like that. The fact that you did all of that yourself. So maybe it was your time to write that book. So that
Yes.
means it's even more powerful because you hardly get a writer that would edit their own book. Yeah.
I
So
decided I'm editing. I was up late at night, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning sometimes, editing my books. I'm like, I don't want anyone to touch the core of the message I'm
so
giving to
basically you
people.
know what you wanted and you know what you
Yes.
wanted to present out there.
And I decided to stick to that. I
Nice.
didn't turn back on it.
So in Abundance is Yours, what would you like to read at least one of the strongest quotes in it for us? You think that kind of does something to you when you read it?
When I
Or
read
you
it myself, learn to receive without guilt. When someone gives you, don't overthink it. Stop questioning their motives. Simply receive with grace. Keep a smile on your face. Feel the excitement and move forward. But don't ruin the flow by asking, are you sure? A lot of people do that. You know, somebody offers you,
Yes,
hey, you sure? No,
sure.
it's okay.
Oh, I don't want it, and they well want it. Like,
Yeah.
I like that. Now you're reading that, then it sounds like something I've heard before already because
Yeah.
it just the choice of words you use make it sound so easy to take in.
Yes.
I like
And
that.
I was writing to the VCS in me where people offer, I keep talking about abundance. And why I say VCS is because I
Yes.
love to give. Oh, you know, a lot of us like to say, oh, I like
Yes,
to give. I like
that's
to
okay.
give.
I don't want.
But then when we receiving, we blocking the flow and we
You
thinking we're
blocking the
doing
flow.
something good by not taking from
Taking
people.
no.
And I'm like, no, I need to make this hit my heart and I have to hit the
Yeah.
hearts of people out there.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
I like that. Yes, yes. Wow. So this is the first book.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the title for the second book?
My
And
God.
what is the title?
I'm just loving your questions. The
Thank
title
you.
of the second one is Sacred Greed. The
Sacred
Untold
Greed.
Truth About Loving Money.
So
A
cool.
topic people are afraid of. Money.
Yes,
People have a
money.
lot of qualms about money.
I don't think growing up I used to hate topics about money because they say money is the root of all evil. But when you really look at it, McNeil, everything we have to do is money.
Everything is
Eating,
money.
sleeping, traveling, everything. In
Even
some
taking the bus is
situations,
money.
even some situations I married, and if my husband don't come home, he ain't getting nothing because there's no money.
There's no money.
So it's
No money, no
kind
honey.
of yeah, money kind of rules the world, and then
It
some people
does.
try to get away from it.
And they bring a lot of orthodox dogma into it, and they say, "Oh, you know, it's evil." What's evil about
What's
it?
evil about it? There's
Why do you
nothing
work
evil
for it?
about it. Why do you work for it? In the first place, you should work, and they should give you a heap of green bananas.
That's it. And you'll become anyway.
So
Yeah.
don't give me a heap of green bananas. Give me that information. How did you come up with the title of that book?
So,
And I really like the cover page. Congratulations. You look very
Thank
smart
you.
on that. Very nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Sacred Greed. They're dripping in money on this, right? As you
Totally.
could tell by the
Red
shoes.
bottom shoes. Yes.
So the title I wrote that last year November. All right, so that was
Wow.
before even Abundance is Yours, and I had it there in my manuscripts. Sacred Greed: The Untold Truth About Loving Money, because that's one of my qualms. Like my icks. Like, oh, people say, oh, money is evil. Money is not all. I'm like, just get over it. It's like saying you want somebody, but you have something negative to think about them. So I
Money
call
is
it a
not
money rejection
evil because
complex.
guess what? You go to church and the pastor keep telling you give and it will be given back to you. So
unto
you
you.
empty in your bank account and he's sending you on pray so you can get money. So
That's it.
I don't think it's evil. I think it's what you use it to do.
It's a
It's
tool.
the exercise, the tool, how you exercise that tool.
That's what this is what this is all
And
about.
as much as you think, I think money is more dirty than it's evil.
Yeah, and again, it's what you use it for,
Yeah.
So I have segments in it, tools for loving money.
So give us a chapter, at least part of a chapter.
Part of a chapter. Let me go to let me see one of my favorite parts. Page 20, it tells you money must flow, so stop holding your breath. Let it breathe. Let it out. A lot of people, they make money and they're afraid to use it. Some people, they work, they go to school, they earn a lot of it from their hard work and stuff.
Sorry for cutting you short. I like that part. They make money and let it breathe. Now, sometimes you see some persons, they have money and they're so stingy for the money. They're not dressing properly, the upkeep of themselves, the whole hygiene and stuff like that. And they can afford to take care of themselves and they're just not spending the money or they're not using it wisely.
That's what I love how you put it there. I have a section now. Let's cut the crap. So I'm talking about being radical about it and getting in alignment with money. Money is your thing. It's your tool. You should be the master of money. You shouldn't be the master of you. So, but to go back to answer your question, I'm just cutting through the soul and letting people get more comfortable with abundance, which I spoke about in the first one, and money, which is one of the crowns of abundance, and learning to be comfortable with it. It's not about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's all about, living within your capacity and using your strengths to make, to give something to the world and to let the world pay you stupendously for that.
Oh, nice.
And then to cut that guilt that you have, because some people say they pray for money, or they asking for a manifestation is not happening because they have a lot of guilt about money, so they're repelling it. So that helps to remold the consciousness right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
this book
Mm-hmm.
is a continuation of this book.
This one, yes.
So by the time you read that, it's like a powerhouse altogether.
Yeah, that's like the appetizer.
Oh, nice.
Opening the
And
belly.
this is the main course.
And that makes you take in the meat.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Life. Wow.
There's something the universe etched into the fabric of your soul before your first breath. Life, it gives you a blueprint, but I like to call mine a gold print. A sacred design, bold, untamed, encoded only in me. And I'm really talking to you, but guess what? I'm actually talking to him. That little boy in me who always knew that there was something bigger, knew that there was a story to tell, a mission, a message that only he, but I'm really talking to you, could live. I didn't always understand it. I didn't have all the steps, but I had the fire, the trust, that inner knowing. And the fire whispered, McNeil, trust me, walk anyway. So I walked, even when I was scared, even when nobody clapped, even when I doubted if I was really enough. I wrote, I delivered, I signed, I cried, I sawed, and now, here's the truth you came to listen to. You have a gold print as well. Not a copy, not a remix, an original divine blueprint, gold print, oops, handcrafted by the architect of life itself, and it's waiting inside you. It might not be a book, it might be a building, a bridge, a business, a song, whatever, a revolution. But if it's burning in your belly, my friend, then trust. This is an emphatic trust. It was planted by the universe, the source of life itself, for a reason that you will enjoy as well. The path won't always make sense. You'll take a step that feels wrong, just to find out it was the only step that could unlock the next door, because the story is yours and only you can write it. So write it, build it, sing it, paint it, live it, but do not ignore it. The world doesn't need more people playing safe. The world needs your gold print, fully unleashed. Come on now, share it with the world. Do not rob yourself of the opportunity of sharing it. Do not rob the world of it. Do not rob the universe of what it gave you.
What has your feedback been locally for your books?
Locally, I like that you asked locally. It's been the book has already reached all over the world, because of course, remember, I'm an internationally
Definitely,
exposed
that's what
person.
I'm asking you. What is the
But the
feedback like
locals,
locally?
I'll be honest, if it's not that I had a negative idea in my head about our locals, but St. Lucians have been out supporting this so much. And that's what I respect. A lot of St. Lucians were like, I want to support a local author. I want to support you. And of course, they want the message in there as well. So it's been really good. St. Lucians have turned out and have been,
I like
even
that.
those abroad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be right back and we'll get into the supporting part of McNeil
Yeah.
after these messages. Welcome back. I'm excited. You have me feeling like $1 million today. It's a good thing I did that hot top there, because I was not too sure what the topic of the heading of the book was or what it was about, but I like that part because I think I looked the part. So what is your feedback like internationally with the books, with all your contacts internationally, with all your experience from traveling? So I think you should get some good feedback. What is it like?
I'll say it's great feedback, because it blew my mind. I didn't expect things to go so fast. But then a lot of people have been telling me, McNeil, that put me back in tune with myself. And when I keep getting that repeated, it's making me get back in tune with myself. It had me stop and think how I've been sabotaging my own greatness.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry for cutting short. How do you feel as a writer
Mhm.
when one of somebody who reads your book tell you something like that?
I feel great because that's the core of the message. It's not even about the money itself and the abundance. It's more about you.
Yes.
It's about returning to yourself
So,
and reclaiming your personal freedom. And that's what the majority of my books are about anyway, about getting back into connection with yourself, the powerhouse within. And I have a little, I'll just go off topic a little bit. There's a
No
surprise
problem.
coming out, amongst the books I've written. There's a book I'm coming out with soon. You want to hear it now?
Definitely. We have to get it first on the Sharmark show. Let's have it.
From Buller to Bossman. That's
From
one of the
what?
books. From Buller to Bossman.
You make
Note I
it-
said Buller.
What the? You're making my shirt tuck too tight. What the? McNeil.
That's the next book that's coming out.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
No,
And what made me bring up that? Because the thing is, my books are more about you, the powerhouse in you.
I like that. You say that,
Mhm.
and I can see myself that kind of relating to me. And it's almost like I feel like getting emotional for that. Because sometimes I ask myself, how did I get where I am today? Because growing up, people only used to call me names and you used to feel like you're not worthy.
Mhm.
You used to feel like you will not do nothing, that you wouldn't have anything. And sometimes I'm sitting and like, hey, you're in your second vehicle, you have a business, you have a TV show,
Mhm.
you're never ready, you're everywhere. So it's basically like from Bula, how you ever say to Bossman.
Mhm.
And that's what it is now. And you remember before we came, and funny enough, you said that
Mhm.
before we came, and I was like, now everybody call you Mr. Leon. You feel that level of respect.
Mhm.
And it's almost like it's a good feeling because
Yes.
sometimes I get up in the morning and I say, God, thank you. And I'm very grateful for everything I have, for everything I do, for the people I meet. And I like the Bossman feeling.
The
and you
Bossman
don't
feeling.
take it for granted because
Yeah.
it can always be taken away from you if you use it wrongly. You don't use
Yes.
it to walk over people
Mhm.
because now you're a Bossman to walk over people. I
Mhm.
use it
Mhm.
to motivate myself and
Mhm.
to change lives and to maybe put food on people's table as a boss man and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it's funny enough when you say that from Buller to boss man, people don't look at you as a Buller no more. They look at you as a boss man. And I like that the fact that you use that word because that's what we know in St. Lucia and you didn't sugarcoat it. Because most times people like to sugarcoat stuff
I couldn't
and you don't
sugarcoat
get
it.
the feedback
Mhm.
you're supposed to get.
And that's why I'm so raw and radical. That's why even on my social media posts, you'll hear me just speaking out from the heart. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm not concerned
We
about those who
cannot
don't.
please everybody
I'm
in
here
this
to
world.
speak. My role in this world is to speak to people's hearts.
Yeah,
Because
you cannot please
what
everybody.
made me the boss man is the fact that I tuned into myself and I brought forth the greatness inside me.
Yes.
Now I'm sharing you the world. And that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what you chose to do. You chose to be. You became the boss man, and that boss man capacity, you're using it to enable other people.
I like that.
So why I titled the book that the fast forward of that is the growing up cash trees. Bula, bula. Now, I've been
God.
to a place called Fiji next to Australia, down out in the Pacific. And in Fiji, bula is actually meaning well-being, blessings unto
Can
you.
you imagine?
Can you imagine that?
So maybe that's why I'm so successful because all those names they call me is blessings being unto
blessings,
me.
I wish you long
Ah.
life, I wish you good health. So that's what the
I
word
receive
means.
it in Jesus'
That's what it
name.
means. But
Please
guess
call me
what?
Bula.
I'm in Castries in 2019 walking. And I'm just hearing, boss man, hey, boss man, everywhere. So when I was at home, I was
Ah.
having a cigarette at home. And I went, wait, wow, I spoke
Everything
to God.
came together.
I knew, wow, from Bula to boss man. And that stuck in my head
My
for
head,
years.
yes.
So I knew
like
that would have been the title of one of my books.
Yeah, I like that. Yes. No, but it has to be because sometimes the title of a book it has to be personal and something that's close to your heart. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then, as we said, we cannot please everybody in this
can't.
world. If you try to do that, you'll go off track, and whatever you're doing is not going to be authentic
Mhm.
because you try to sugarcoat it, put more seasoning to please this person and to please that person. If it's not for you, I think you just move along.
Mhm.
Yes, I like that. So, where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? I would not say 5 years, in the next couple of years as a writer.
Oh Lord, that's a very nice question. And you know what? For me, I'm very spontaneous by nature. And like I said, I'm surprised that this went to the level it went to. So why I see myself the next how many years? I just want to be impacting people. That's it. I
Mhm.
want this to grow big for sure. I want it to be touching lives. I see myself maybe getting into, you never know, publishing house, from being a shopping consultant, selling, high-end jewelry and stuff, from being a flight attendant to serving food in a cabin and, promoting safety to now touching the hearts of
Yeah.
people,
I think,
giving them the real value that's in here.
I think you have what
waking
it
up.
takes to do
Mhm.
whatever you want to do because I think you
Mhm.
have the experience and then the sky is the limit. And I think it's just a matter of saying it. And your books has a lot of inspiration. And if you can write those books, I think whatever you put your mind to, you can do it.
That's what
So
it
just
is.
now, pal, I see I have a little gold bag there. What's that? You're going to a baby shower afterwards?
Well, I said, why not? Abundance is always yours. And
Hey.
you just said it from the beginning. Abundance is yours. So now I present you your abundance is yours.
Oh my
And
God.
sacred greed, this is for you.
Oh my
I brought you your personal
God.
signed
Hey, I'll have a
copy.
glass of wine tonight. Lucia, I'm here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh
You're
my
welcome,
God,
you're
this is
welcome.
nice. You're a wonderful guest. I'll invite you every Wednesday. I like gifts. But McNeil, on a serious basis, I would like to, from me to you, I would like to congratulate you. And I think this is big. This is bigger than you think. And I think I would, from now, I will start following you even more often to see what's the new development, what's coming up, and what's going to be trending for you. And I think this book, you have not even seen the best of this book.
Even I
think-
myself, I haven't seen the best of it yet because for me,
No.
it took me by surprise the way everything just went so quick, so
Yes.
fast, you know.
Yeah. And I like that, the fact that the way you highlight in your book, it's different.
Yeah.
Senisha. It's really different. It's easy to read.
That's intentional, yeah.
Yes.
Again, that's just the McNeil in me that likes to do things non-conventional. I like to do things. I just want it to be original. Come from my heart. I give it to you this way. Versace produces their way. You know, LV produces their way.
to have your style. Yeah,
Gucci,
definitely.
they have their thing. So why
Yeah.
do I have to copy somebody else? I want to be me.
Yes,
I want when I
definitely.
leave something on this earth that it touched the hearts of someone else coming from me. I inspired someone to be themselves.
I like that word, inspired. What would you tell a young person looking at it right now? Anybody who's looking at the program right now and they maybe have been thinking of writing for years, or maybe it's something that they have some books they're afraid to publish it. What would you tell to encourage them and to inspire them?
Trust yourself. Start where you are. If it doesn't make you sleep at night, if you keep thinking about, oh my God, I want to do that, I really want to do it. If you feel in yourself, I really want to do it, do it. And I know now the scared part, that happens, that's natural. You think of the criticism. Most times, I mean, it's not even true. It's not even true. And once you start where you are, it unfolds. Once you start to move, it gets clearer and clearer and clearer. And as a person that likes to have control, but at the same time, I'm spontaneous, I could say, wow, like I didn't expect this. I was holding back the books. I'm like, when will I release the first book? Which one should I release? And then that just came to me. The universe just moved for me to make it happen. So once you open up yourself, life supports you along the way. You get what you get it. Do it your way. Be authentic. Be yourself. Trust yourself. Many might not like it, but that should not be in your mind. If you love it, imagine the many yous out there who will love it and support it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just be yourself.
Yes.
Be
wow.
you.
Wow, definitely. Sanisha, these are powerful words. McNeil, thank you so much for being here. And I think I picked up a few things from you. It was very inspirational having you here. Thank you for being a guest on the Sharmark Show.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Love and light,
and
man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sanisha, thank you for viewing. And please, can we get the books on Amazon?
Yes. So this book, we almost forgot that. Actually, that slipped my mind too. Amazon. This is the combined version. So I have the Abundance series. I call it volumes 1 and 2. All together. Okay. So you have both books. The reason for that, Amazon wouldn't allow the first one in color by itself. So I combined the books to make it
that's
one
perfect.
full
Yeah.
thing for you.
Yes.
So you have one book. You could reach out to me for the link, or you just write in my name, McNeil Griffith, and you'll find it right away.
Oh, wonderful.
And the sales are getting hot. And for
I
St.
like that.
Lucia, this has sentimental value. So I like the way that this is printed in St. Lucia.
Okay.
Born and bred here.
Yes,
That one was
yes,
written
yes.
here, not ingredient, right here. So I
Okay.
want St. Lucians to get these ones as the bundle.
Okay.
It's just
So if
Yeah.
they want to contact you, what is your Facebook or Instagram handles?
my name at McNeil Griffith, McNeil Griffith. That's it. You could meet me on Facebook with this name, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Trust me, I'm out there.
Okay. Can you please, let's end by saying the titles of your book again?
So the titles of the book: Abundance is
Amen.
yours.
I receive it.
Abundance is yours.
I
It's
like
within
that.
you. God gave it
Yes.
to you naturally, And then the other one is sacred greed. You had to make it holy. So it's
Yes.
sacred greed.
Yes.
The untold truth about loving money. These
Definitely.
books are gonna open up your system to yourself. You're gonna
Definitely.
open up you to you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Good night, Lucia. Thank you for viewing.